allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. We held executive session on August 19th to discuss historical financial practices that could potentially lead to some potential litigation. We also met prior to the meeting tonight to discuss link litigation, as well as zoning issues on Fair Hill Road and a real estate matter on Rickard Road. Moving on. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda, A through F?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Confirmed appointment through a 9 connector update. Joe, if I can toss it over to you and you can tee it up for the public.
That is me. So some of you might remember back in March of this year, we had PennDOT here in this meeting room kind of giving us an update on the 309 connector project. There was a series of concerns that were raised by the residents here in Hilltown. We had reported back to the community in May that we were undertaking a bunch of site visits. We had been in contact with PennDOT, Representative Labs, who's back in back of the room here. And we were compiling essentially a list of questions or requests that we wanted to submit to PennDOT. We submitted that letter, which included 2 requests. One was to turn Fair Hill Road into a cul-de-sac at the connection with the Fair Hill Bridge, so it would no longer be a through street. We did that because we felt that the traffic volume in either direction on Fair Hill Road would have been too much for what that road was designed for, and ultimately would have been a long-term problem for the community. The second request related to Indian Valley Camping Center, who part of their operations, the most important part of their operations, would actually be removed as part of the construction of a roundabout. We asked that that roundabout either be changed into a standard traffic signal or sewer be run to the other side of Bethlehem Pike so they could continue operations. We work closely with Shelby Labs, and she actually pushed through our letter directly to the Secretary of Transportation of Pennsylvania, Secretary Carroll, who responded back and said that they are going to support us and close off Fair Hill Road and put in a cul-de-sac. And they've also committed to helping support getting sewer for Indian Valley Camping Center within the confines of the law and what they can do. I will say on the second part, there's been movement recently, and we have some discussions coming up, I think Thursday, with the water and sewer authorities in the area to basically work to get that done as quickly as we possibly can. So I think we took a lot of meaningful steps here in 5 months. I'm pretty pleased with where we landed. There's still going to be questions and some things that we'll have to address, but I think we worked great. Shelby, you were amazing in getting this through. It was hard to change a multi-million-dollar project with PennDOT, and they came to the table and they were willing to talk, like they said, and with Shelby's help, we were able to get that message through, and so that's where we stand now. So I think we're probably going to be waiting for a design back from them, which will likely either have them come in and present, or we'll talk through it here and see if there's anything else. But I think we, for the most part, have resolved the most pressing issues, and we're working on Indian Valley still. So I just wanted to give that brief update and thank Shelby for all her work.
Shelby, do you want to come forward and kind of share anything? We appreciate you coming tonight.
Yeah,
first of all.
absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone for being here. I really wanted to stress in terms of this project, and I'm talking to you, I'm looking at you guys, and I know that we've had this conversation so many times, but really what a collaborative effort this was to get that done. And I feel like residents should know that. We all came to the table. We said, we're hearing these concerns from our residents. How do we make this better? How do we figure out a solution? So I was happy to bring this to PennDOT, and you know, because we've had this conversation, I really stressed to them this, we're not trying to throw a wrench in this multi-million-dollar, 3-phase, many-year-long project. This is a quality of life issue for these residents and, quite frankly, for the entire township. We wanted to present some common sense solutions, and like you said, PennDOT was very receptive, and they came back in a time frame that they said that they would, and gave us a response that we think was very favorable. So it's been a pleasure working with you guys. Yeah, I'm hopeful that everyone is happy with this result, and yeah, we'll continue to move forward and make sure we get this to the finish line. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shelby, since you're here, if you don't mind, if there's any quick questions out there that are related to the 309 connector update, I thought there might be a few.
Yeah, I gotta go.
The only problem, Shelby, is you handle this so effectively. I'm going to call you every week to get stuff done now. So, if you have a comment, come on up to the podium, state your name, address, and we'll try to answer a quick question or two.
Yeah, hi, how you doing? Fred Sepp, Fair Hill Road resident. I'm just curious, so while I'm pleased with the overall outcome, was there any additional traffic analysis done that we're not pushing the problem someplace else within the community?
Yeah, I think that's the rebuttal to turning it into a cul-de-sac, is that we are going to disperse the traffic elsewhere. The view still remains that those roads are not sufficient to handle the volumes that they were talking about. But we have a lot more authority over those roads as a township to make changes. We're not going to be amending a PennDOT plan at that point. It's more, how do we adjust speed limits, bumps and things like that. So
Fair Hill Road as well. I'm at the end there with Bridges, and my question is about the house that was already purchased through PennDOT. Was that house going to go back on the market, or is there still moving forward? The design, I would imagine, still out in the...
yeah, we haven't seen any.
We haven't seen anything yet.
That's my concern about
Yeah.
the house at this point.
Brian Richardson, 1319 Keystone. Good evening. I just wanted to say thank you to the supervisors and the representative labs. Thank you very much. I know there was a scurry of phone calls and meetings that took place after that March meeting, and I know the various supervisors were immediately engaged, as well as Shelby, you were as well. So thank you very much, and really great to see what was able to be done in such a short period of time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Tara Constantine, 122 Fair Hill Road. I had a suggestion about the roundabout near Indian Valley before I knew what they had already decided. I was thinking they could dead end at County Line Road and Bethlehem and put a red light at Cherry, because there's so many accidents there. It's such a bad intersection.
Yeah.
And that way it wouldn't involve their business and nobody would have to turn there. There's accidents there as well. Probably save them a lot of money with not having to do a roundabout
Yeah.
and putting a traffic light at Cherry. I don't know. A suggestion. I don't know if it's too late, but
Yeah, unfortunately, my sense is that
Yeah, I would think so too.
I think the ship has sailed.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna throw it out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening. My name is Alan Moore, 820 Fair Hill Road. Like that echo the sentiments of the rest of us. Thank you so much for all the work that you've put into this and listening to our concerns. One question I have, I didn't hear mentioned before we had talked about this project. They were speaking of a traffic light at 113 Keystone Road. as a temporary thing while the work went on. I was wondering if that was going to be permanent now, since we've changed the traffic pattern.
We haven't seen anything, correct, any updates on that. My understanding is that it's temporary to permanent was kind of how they've described it. I don't know if that'll change.
Okay.
But when more information comes out, we'll share it.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
My name is Dave Keller. I'm from Indian Valley Camping Center, as you guys know. I just wanted to kind of follow up with Brian, say thank you to Shelby Labs. Thank you to you guys for what you're doing. We are currently trying to accept the fact that it's happening and getting building plans. And if they can get us sewer, I think we can make the transformation if they get us sewer, because that's our biggest problem at this point. I mean, we can certainly build another building. We have the land, but if we don't have bathrooms, we don't have an operation. So, but again, thank you guys. Thank you, Shelby. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate all the work everybody's put in, and obviously this is step one of many, but I think we're heading in the right direction. And again, thank you, Representative Labs. Appreciate it. Okay. Legal. Jack?
Thank you. We have an ordinance to consider this evening, ordinance number 2024-003. This is an ordinance relating to local limits for pre-treatment of sewer. So Hilltown Township, along with 5 other municipalities, all are members of the Penridge Wastewater Treatment Authority, commonly known as PWTA. That regional authority accepts sewage flows from the member municipalities, and every 5 years the plant's capacity and its ability to accept sewage is evaluated, and there are limits set for the sounds sort of odd, quality of sewer coming to the plant. So those figures are adjusted accordingly as the plant goes through time. And so this is an ordinance which was is designed to establish those new limits, and there's a whole listing of different chemicals, components of the sewage, from arsenic to mercury to whatever, and all, as you can imagine, a lot of these limits are very, very small. So in any event, PWTA has asked us and the other member municipalities to pass this new local limits ordinance. It was advertised according to law in the Intelligencer on August 9th of this year. I have a copy of the advertising, I should say the affidavit of publication along with the advertising, which I've marked as Exhibit A. So for purposes of this hearing, that should be and along with the ordinance should be the only exhibits. Is there anyone in the audience who has any questions regarding this? Seeing none, I guess it wasn't a very exciting subject. I would look
I
for...
beg to differ.
well,
As the
I'm
super
sorry,
guy, I beg to differ.
I offended the manager of the Water and Sewer Authority. Given that there's no comments from the audience, I would look for a motion from the board to pass ordinance 2024-003.
Okay, is there a motion to pass that ordinance?
So moved.
Second?
I have a second.
Any discussion? Nope. Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
And that is all I have this evening, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Tim, planning.
Okay, we have one matter to deal with under planning. Mr. Rigo is here tonight, a local business owner in the township who operates the Inline 309 facility on intersection of Mill Road and Bethlehem Pike. Mr. Rigo is interested in obtaining approval to construct a 50 feet by 50 feet addition onto his existing indoor recreational building. He was before the Planning Commission last week at the meeting, at which time the Planning Commission did recommend that the Board of Supervisors consider granting the waiver of land development to the applicant for that proposal. Not to steal Mr. Rigo's thunder here, but I will say that he did describe the use of the building as just adding additional space to his already existing facility for seating, equipment sales, and 2 golf simulators, right? Is that correct? Okay. And there will be no more sewer and water needs for that part of the building because he already has facilities in the existing building that he can use. So he's looking for a waiver of land development. There was a review letter from my office dated July 18, 2024, which outlines the parameters of the project. There is no additional lighting of any sort in the parking lot. It's all going to be contained already what he has. He doesn't need stormwater management because he's over an existing impervious area. And there's a small loss of parking spaces in the area where he's building the building, but he has plenty of existing parking there on the site. And if the board grants the waiver of land development, you are not waiving the requirement that Mr. Rigo has to go through and obtain zoning permits and building permits. So with that being said, I don't know if you want to add anything, Mr. Rigo. If you do, please speak into the microphone there.
You can put that on the stand
Or
if you'd like.
talk into that microphone there if you want.
There you go, and if you can go to the podium if you're more comfortable there.
Well, judging all the people you have here, my problem's not too big. I'm just trying to make America. I'm just trying to make America skate again.
I'll make a motion now.
Just a little addition that I want to put on. Basically, after COVID, things kind of have come back, thank God. I hope we don't have a pandemic in my lifetime again. But we want to put on extra addition. We do a lot of fundraisers for the schools in the area, and they come in, they bring big groups, and we just don't have enough. That would give me some more room. And being that I have some time to kill, I like to play golf, so I'm going to put 2 golf simulators in there. And then I want to put a small retail shop to sell like roller skates, wheels, and it's going to go over the existing area, no plumbing. So it's going to go, there's doors that are in the back of the rink that go out. We're just going to build onto that, and that's pretty much it.
Any questions?
I have none.
Questions? No. I think it's great, so.
I do too.
Can I get a motion to grant a waiver of land development to construct a 50 by 50 foot addition on an existing indoor recreation building, conditional upon completion of the items contained within Tim's review letter dated July 18, 2024.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate your time.
No engineering, unfinished business, ARPA discussion.
So this is actually just a refresher from Deanna on balance of what we have and just any updates on what we can spend the
What we can
funds
spend it on.
But really it's just teeing up for the working session next month.
So we do have a working session September 9th, is that correct?
Second Monday? Yeah, second.
Yeah,
Yes, ninth.
September 9th.
Yes.
And we'll be discussing ARPA money and possibly disbursement, but ARPA is the American Rescue Plan. If you're not familiar with it, Uncle Sam was kind enough to give municipalities some money during the COVID era, and now we have to decide what we're going to spend it on. So, you have anything you want to add there, or?
We will need to be designating the remainder of the ARPA money that Hilltown Township received by the end of this year. So we are working diligently to try and get that allocated, and we hope to come back with some more specifics on how that's planned to be spent in the next few months.
Deanna, how much are we talking about?
We have about $1 million.
$1 million, okay.
And that's money that has to be allocated, not necessarily spent, correct?
It has to be designated either with a purchase order or a contract in place by the end of this year.
There we go. Okay.
Great. Anything additional?
No, that was it.
That's it.
Short and sweet.
Thank you.
Okay, new business, H&K extension of hours. Deanna, you want to take this one?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. H&K is looking for approval to allow the concrete batch plant, asphalt batch plant, and crushing plant at Chalfont Quarry and Asphalt to operate between the hours of 6:30 p.m. and 6:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday between September 1st and September 30th, 2024. And any requests that they are putting in for extended hours, it's important to note that that does exclude holidays.
And are we striking
Private customers?
private customers?
Yes.
Now that I'm looking at it, I can't see it.
Fourth sentence.
Fourth sentence, there you go. Oh, okay.
And or private customers.
And or private customers,
Yep.
okay. Can I get a motion to approve H&K extension of hours for the month of September?
Yeah.
So moved, excluding private customers.
Very good. Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And Deanna, back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Bucks County Consortium returned their responses for the rock salt bid for 2024-2025 season. The lowest responsible bidder was Morton Salt this year at $60.95 per ton. So we are looking to get an approval to move forward with that price for the next season.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve Morton Salt at $60.95 per ton for delivered salt?
So moved.
Second.
Second, Caleb.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I believe we have one more.
Oh, yes.
We are also looking, it would be in addition to the agenda as posted, a motion to approve the reinstatement of the leaf collection program set to restart in Hilltown Township this fall.
So you guys like that?
So,
All right.
so I guess we're voting no?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
If you want to lynch him, I'm going to leave.
Okay, can I get a motion to reinstate the leaf collection for fall of 2024?
That's a tough one.
So,
I guess I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Oh,
Deanna.
on just one point
Cost,
on
yeah,
it.
go ahead.
There will be a schedule published, and it's going to be much more organized than in the past, so people will know when their leaves will be picked up.
That's a good point. For those of you that rake the leaves 7 times, you won't be able to do that anymore, so.
And that will be posted on our website as well as our social media page.
Okay.
Budgetary, we're talking what, additional,
Oh, so.
about 10,000, yeah,
Yeah, so
about 10,000.
last year when when the program was stopped, it was stopped based off of figures that included fixed costs for the township, essentially the salaries of the Public Works Department. So the actual cost of the program is about $10,000, which we already have plenty of funds to fund that for this year, but.
And there should be an official budget adjustment once we do have that final number to account for it.
Yep.
Perfect.
Great. All right. Okay, supervisor comments. Jim?
I have none.
I just wanted to take 2 seconds. I don't know if anybody else was following along last night, but there was some small fire at Grandview Hospital, and I happened to have some extra time and was listening into the radio chatter, and I just wanted to thank the gentleman in the back from Hilltown Fire, but just in general, just point out the amount of effort that goes into protecting the community, and the coordination was outstanding and incredibly impressive to listen to on the radio, all the coordination real time. And that was could have been a much more dangerous situation, given that it was obviously a hospital. But I just wanted to point out that there were fire departments from Sellersville, West End, Quakertown, Chalfont, Silverdale, Percy, Dublin, Hilltown, Richland, Trumsbowerville, and then we go over to Colmar, Montgomery, Hatfield, Telford, Tylersport, East Greenville, and Red Hill Fire were all called into action last night, and listening to it on the radio was pretty. Thank God everybody was safe and they were able to identify the issue and resolve it. But man, you guys jump up on a Sunday night and do a heck of a job, and just wanted to point that out for everyone. Thank you.
forgive me if I sound like a broken record, but Park and Rec has been reestablished and meet on the second Tuesday of the month. I'm very excited about actually hearing conversation about what we can do to expand our park and recreation in Hilltown. I'd encourage you to attend the next meeting, especially if you have any input that you want to give the board. We're moving forward in this direction, and I'll tell you what, good things are going to happen. So very excited about that. Public comment. Okay, none. Any press? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:28?
Holy cow.
That was a fast one.
So moved.
Say a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, everybody.